Joining me in the studio is Jeremy Ellis, who is the Director of Marketing and Customer Experience at TUI. Jeremy, thank you very much for joining us. You too have come from a very, very busy session here on the editor's stage talking about the future of marketing organisations. But I want to talk a little bit about the past and the present, because TUI in particular has, and Thomson as well, they've been through a few changes over the last few months or so that as a consumer I've been aware of, so that Thomson's kind of disappeared now. Just talk me through that brand change and how from a marketing point of view you've managed that.
Sure, well TUI is obviously our holding company, and there is an ambition at group level for TUI to become a global brand in travel.
Yeah.
And we are the largest travel organisation. So it was only right that at some point the Thomson brand, which is one of the biggest brands in travel in the UK, also became TUI. So in order to make that journey really seamless, we firstly wanted to really understand what our existing customers would feel about losing the TUI brand, but also what opportunity does moving to a new brand create.
Yep.
And one of the things that we really became clear as part of the insight process when we were looking at brand propositions was that whether you go on a package holiday, whether you do it yourself, the importance of having certainty and control of your holiday is critical, because it's the most important time of the year. And what we realised was that obviously Thomson played to the package end of the market, and we didn't really play in the independent end. With TUI, we had an opportunity to play in both. So we defined this thing internally called the third way to travel with TUI. And we wanted to create a brand that stood for both, but basically has a service proposition behind it. So the migration initially focused very much on bringing our existing customers with us. Mm-hmm. We needed to make sure that everybody knew that going with TUI was still really going with Thomson. We would take care of you. We're the same great brand, just with a new name. But the new name would appeal to new customers who were less familiar with it, who maybe thought, well, maybe this is a bit different to Thomson. So we've been able, very much so over the last 6 months since the campaign started, we've seen all of our existing customers come with us, and we've also seen in the data a lot of new customers start to open up to TUI. We've been very fortunate, I guess, to find a campaign line that sums up the brand and the proposition very well, which is TUI, cross the T's, dot the I's, and put you in the middle, which is perfect from a service point of view, but also perfect from a brand point of view. But yes, it's a little bit corny, but it's so perfect in terms of defining what the TUI proposition is all about.
And in terms of that overall, well, for want of a better term, journey, you've been, I guess, cross-pollinating a little bit. The TUI smile has been part of the Thomson branding, you were saying, for a little while, and thinking back, yes, it certainly has. I think the colour schemes have maybe been getting closer and closer on materials for a little while, so that when it did finally happen, and I got the press releases myself 6 months ago, maybe a bit less than that, I can't quite remember now, but it almost didn't feel like a surprise anymore.
I think that's true. Some people say this has been the longest brand migration in history because we actually became TUI as a business back in 2002. And we took on the TUI smile around about the same time. Okay. So we've already been on that brand migration. A lot of our customers already know that Thomson was part of a bigger company called TUI. So we weren't starting completely afresh. And as you say, we kept the smile, we kept the same colours, we kept the same typeface. So it wasn't a huge difference. And also we did the migration over a period of time. So throughout last year, over a 12-month period, we changed aircraft. Yeah. Before the actual brand migration took place, we changed shops. Yeah. Before so the critical point was the website changing to Thomson. A lot happened before that.
So obviously it's been a very the 17, 16, 15 years or so since TUI was the parent company and so on. There's been a lot of challenges in the industry since then. There continue to be a lot of challenges. We're seeing some consolidation. We're seeing, certain players drop out. Was it always the plan that the migration would take this long, or is it that you've been conscious of the market forces and you've just been playing it very cautiously?
I think the migration has gone at the pace that the business wanted it to go at,
right.
And it wasn't so much about the kind of the market and the economic climate. It was more a case of when's the right time to do it, to ensure that the customers come with us. I think one of the things that we are seeing, though, in a world that is constantly perceived to be a more risky place, I mean, you could debate that point. Package holidays and being taken care of is becoming more and more important, and when people are becoming more time poor, having things done for you is more and more important. And I think this is why package holidays are still very successful today. There's been a proliferation of online players, low-cost airlines and so on, but the core package holiday companies are still going, and I think that's because they offer a fantastic proposition that's becoming more relevant in today's world.
Well, listen, Jeremy, fascinating to hear about the journey that you've been on, taking other people on journeys over the last, however many years, and I know you've been with the company for quite a while yourself. And thank you also for your insights over on the stage today about the future of marketing. We haven't got time to talk about that right now because that's another 20-minute conversation. But have a great time here at the show, and hope to see you again.
Pleasure, thank you.
Cheers.